Welcome to the KinderJoy TV podcast, where we explore the art and science of parenting with intention, compassion, and confidence. I'm your host, Adam, and today we're talking about one of the most relatable and toughest parenting challenges, staying calm when your child pushes your buttons. How can we keep our cool when we're triggered by whining, defiance, meltdowns, or even just repeated questions? How do we avoid reacting out of frustration or anger and instead respond in ways that teach, connect, and empower? Joining me today is Mrs. Smith, a licensed child psychologist and seasoned educator who spent over 2 decades helping parents understand emotional regulation in both kids and themselves. Mrs. Smith, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Adam. This is such an important and human topic. Every parent loses it sometimes. The goal isn't perfection, but awareness, growth, and healthier responses.
Part 1. Understanding emotional triggers. Let's start with what we mean by emotional triggers. Why do our kids, especially in the heat of a tantrum, push our buttons so effectively?
A trigger is an emotional response that feels disproportionate to the moment. Often, it's because something about our child's behavior touches on our past. Maybe how we were treated as kids, fears about being a bad parent, or even just fatigue and stress building up.
So when my toddler starts screaming at bedtime, it's not just the noise, it's all the pressure I'm carrying, plus maybe how I was punished as a kid for acting out.
Exactly. That child isn't just refusing sleep, they're unknowingly activating a web of memories, insecurities, and expectations in you. And when that happens, you're no longer responding from your adult self, you're reacting from your past.
Which explains why we can go from calm to yelling in 2 seconds.
Yes, and that's why awareness is so powerful. When you notice your own internal reaction, whoa, I'm feeling really angry. You create space to choose your response instead of being hijacked by it.
Which explains why we can go from calm to yelling in 2 seconds.
Yes, and that's why awareness is so powerful. When you notice your own internal reaction, whoa, I'm feeling really angry, you create space to choose your response instead of being hijacked by it.
Part 2. What happens in the brain? Can you walk us through the science behind that hijack? What's going on in the brain when we lose it?
Sure. The brain has different regions, but let's focus on 2. The amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is our alarm system. It detects threats and triggers fight or flight. The prefrontal cortex is the wise mind. It helps us think clearly, regulate emotions, and plan. When your child melts down, your amygdala may register it as a threat, even though it's not dangerous, and override your logical brain. That's why you might find yourself shouting, "Because I said so," even when you swore you'd never say that.
So our parenting brain is under attack from inside.
In a way, yes. The good news is, just like muscles, we can strengthen the brain's self-regulation capacity. The more we practice calming ourselves, the stronger that prefrontal cortex becomes in the heat of the moment.
That's empowering. It's not just about being more patient, but actually training your brain to respond differently.
Exactly. And this applies to our kids too. When we model calm, their developing brains learn how to mirror that over time.
Part 3. Recognizing your patterns. So, once we understand that our buttons are connected to old emotional wiring and brain responses, the next step is identifying our own patterns, right?
Exactly. Each parent has unique hotspots. For one person, it's whining. For another, it's being ignored. What matters is noticing your specific emotional habits.
Like when my child says no, I feel disrespected, and that sends me into a lecture or anger mode.
Yes, and when you can name that, I feel disrespected when my child says no. You can pause and ask, is this really about disrespect, or is this a normal developmental behavior? Often, it's the latter. Also, look at your physical cues. Do you clench your jaw? Does your heart race? Those are early signals to slow down.
This sounds like emotional self-awareness as a superpower.
That's a great way to put it. Once you can track your patterns, you're halfway to changing them.
Part 4. Tools to stay regulated. Let's talk tools. What can parents do in the moment to stay calm?
First, breathe. Deep belly breaths help shift your nervous system from fight or flight into rest and respond. Second, use mantras like, "This is not an emergency," or "My child is not giving me a hard time, they are having a hard time." Third, step away when needed. Say, "I need a moment to calm down. I'll be right back." That models emotional regulation and protects the connection.
It's okay to pause. That's not abandonment.
Right. You're teaching your child that it's healthy to take space when overwhelmed. Also, prepare in advance. Have calming tools ready, a playlist, a journal, a calming corner.
So proactive regulation is just as important as reactive regulation.
Absolutely. The more regulated you stay throughout the day, the less likely you'll snap in those heated moments.
Part 5. Repairing after you lose it. Let's be real. We all lose it sometimes. What matters most after that?
The repair. It's the bridge back to connection. When you apologize, "I'm sorry I yelled. That wasn't okay. You didn't deserve that." You teach accountability, humility, and emotional safety.
That's not weakness. That's powerful modeling.
Yes, it builds trust. And repair isn't just verbal. Show it through actions. A hug, time together, or asking, "How did that make you feel?"
So the rupture isn't the end. It's a chance to deepen the relationship.
Exactly. And the more you repair, the stronger the bond becomes.
Part 6. Long-term strategies for emotional resilience. How do we build emotional resilience? Not just quick fixes, but lasting growth.
Start with routines that support mental health. Enough sleep, balanced meals, and screen limits. A dysregulated body leads to a dysregulated brain. Teach emotional literacy, like, what are you feeling? Where do you feel it in your body? What can help? Create family values, like, in our family, we take care of each other's feelings. That helps kids anchor their behavior in identity, not fear of punishment.
So parenting calm isn't just about reactions. It's about the whole environment we're shaping.
Exactly. You're creating a relational culture where calm, compassion, and communication are the norm.
Let's shift focus. How do we help our kids handle their own triggers without relying on us all the time?
Great question. We begin by naming emotions regularly, not just during meltdowns. When you see your child getting frustrated, say, "It looks like you're getting upset because your tower fell." Then offer tools. Would it help to take a break or squeeze your stress ball? The key is repetition. You're building emotional vocabulary and self-awareness.
So emotional regulation isn't something we teach once. It's something we model and coach over time.
Exactly. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. Lots of wobbles at first, but with your steady guidance, they gain balance.
What about power struggles? Those moments when it feels like a battle of wills. Put on your shoes and they just say no.
Power struggles often emerge when kids feel a loss of control. You can avoid them by offering limited choices, like, do you want the red shoes or the blue ones? Also, validate their feelings before enforcing the boundary. Like, you really don't want to leave the park. That's hard, but it's time to go. Empathy softens resistance and helps the child feel seen, even when the answer is still no.
So connection doesn't mean we give in. It means we lead with compassion.
Exactly. Connection before correction.
Let's talk about something many families face: parenting differences. What if one parent is calm and patient and the other is more reactive?
Start with mutual respect. You're both doing your best. Try to have calm conversations when you're not in the heat of the moment. Share goals, like raising respectful, emotionally aware kids. Then discuss strategies. Sometimes reading a book or listening to a podcast together creates shared language. And when one of you does lose it, model repair, even with each other. That teaches kids about healthy relationships.
So, connection doesn't mean we give in, it means we lead with compassion.
Exactly. Connection before correction.
Let's zoom out. How can we create a home environment where calm is the norm, not the exception?
Start with rituals, morning hugs, dinner conversations, bedtime check ins. Predictability creates emotional safety. Celebrate emotion expression, like, I love how you told me you were sad instead of yelling. And normalize mistakes, like, everyone has tough moments. What matters is how we handle them. Also, reduce background stress. Too many commitments, lack of sleep, tech overwhelm all erode calm.
So, it's about both emotional habits and lifestyle rhythms.
Exactly. Peaceful parenting isn't just a response, it's a culture you build over time.
What to do when calm doesn't work? Sometimes, even when we stay calm, our child doesn't respond. What then?
Calm doesn't mean instant compliance. Kids are learning. If your child keeps melting down despite your efforts, look at their needs. Are they tired, hungry, overstimulated? Also, remember that consistency is key. Keep showing up calmly, even when it seems ineffective. You're building emotional muscle for both of you. Sometimes professional support is helpful. Therapy, parenting coaching, or evaluation for underlying issues.
So, stay patient, stay curious, and keep building trust.
Exactly. Change is slow, but powerful.
Before we close, what final encouragement would you give parents listening today?
Give yourself grace. Parenting is emotional labor. You're rewiring patterns from your past while shaping the future for your child. You don't have to be a perfect parent, just a present, growing one.
That's a beautiful note to end on. Mrs. Smith, thank you once again.
Thank you, Adam. And to every parent, you've got this.
If you found this episode valuable, be sure to subscribe to the KinderJoy TV podcast. Leave us a review and share it with someone who could use encouragement today. Remember, calm is contagious, and every small step you take towards self-awareness and compassion ripples out through your entire family. See you next time, and keep parenting with heart.